Happy Monday to the XRP holders. Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. We're going to be analyzing and taking a look at what's happening. Obviously, we are starting off our brand new week. What's really happening and, what we could be expecting as we do go further into the week. This is a massive week. A lot of people probably have already forgotten, but, this week is the FOMC meeting. A lot of people have Wednesday on their radar because, of course, if you don't see an during the FOMC meeting, if we don't see a rate cut, I do personally think market is going to see a pullback. We're already starting to see a little bit of a hint of that happening. Yes, some coins up quite a bit, but the market is pretty much getting prepared for this meeting itself. XRP down about 1.9% with the price currently sitting at $2.12. Also down about 1% in Bitcoin. Comparative market cap at $124.2 billion and the 24-hour trading volume at about $2.1 billion. Before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. I get so many comments, literally over the last, I wouldn't even say 24 hours because I made the updates last night. So, over the last few hours since our last updates, so many comments flooding in, on HBAR update, Caspa, XRP update. A lot of people are talking about why is the price of XRP and a lot of coins going down because of the FOMC meeting. Like I said, this is something that you don't really want to be ignoring. There is people that aren't kind of getting themselves prepared, because if you go look at the previous FOMC meeting and really kind of distinguish what happens, you do see the fact that, when you do see that FOMC meeting playing out and the rate cut does not happen, or even leading into the FOMC meeting, you actually do see the market actually pulling down. So, that kind of sums up as to what's really happening. But let's take a closer look and see what's really happening today. Crypto market structure draft from the Congress. You can see this for yourself. This has been published. Very, very big stuff happening. Of course, things that, we've been talking about, how there is clarity coming towards the digital asset space. This right here is a perfect example here. You can see, section 1, short title, table of contents, and you can see, the different types of, acts here. So really, really big stuff happening, obviously, for the crypto space. Look at this, huge day for RLUSD, once again, being listed on another big centralized exchange. And of course, we're seeing, RLUSD being listed on a lot of these big exchanges because, of course, the demand factor for stablecoin is there. It's always been there. It's not that, it's just coming in because, bigger entities are, wanting to get, stable coins. It's always been there when it comes to, interest. Look at the future side of things. Look at, people that trade crypto. Sometimes you go into stables to kind of, just hold on to your coins if you don't want them to fluctuate. But, people want to see, compliance approved stablecoin, and this is where RLUSD comes in. So, earlier we were seeing Gemini posting this, futures are brighter when we build up systems that upgrade finance. And of course, a big hint of RLUSD, and it has been official. RLUSD is now available for trading on Gemini. Deposits and withdrawals are enabled, buy, sell, and store today. Big stuff here, of course. So moving forward, we're going to kind of come back to this, target from Zoom, and I'm going to kind of share my personal thoughts on that, of course. Take a look at this. Trump is set to raise millions this month through 2 crypto-focused dinners, including a $1.5 million per plate fundraiser and a May 22nd event, for Trump tokens, holders. So again, huge stuff happening. This is quite interesting. You can see, and a May 22nd event for Trump token holders. I'm not sure what's going to be discussed. Are they going to, distribute it, that supply, the other major amounts of supply that is being held with the small amounts of, individuals? Is that going to be distributed? We don't really know, but big stuff happening. Are we really going to see the market reacting in a positive way? Possibly. Are we going to see a meme coin season really, picking up again? Meme coin season slowly but surely is picking up, even though you are seeing the dominance this high. But what's really going to be discussed here? We're going to obviously talk about that. Are we going to hear about, US-based projects, being exempt from the capital gain tax? Again, a lot of speculation happening pretty much since the beginning of Trump coming into the office, but we'll see. Let me know your personal thoughts down below regarding this. But right now, this week, you really want to be focusing on the FOMC meeting. It's bigger than you know. And look at this, Ripple posted this. The start of 2025 saw a major momentum for Ripple, XRP, and the broader crypto industry. Quarter 1 2025 XRP market report is here. Highlights include SEC and Ripple reached an agreement to end the lawsuit. Hidden Road acquired for a staggering $1.25 billion to scale XRPL and RLUSD adoptions. Institutional demand rises for XRP-based investment products. U.S. policy shift signals more clarity and more opportunities. Starting in quarter 2, the XRP market report is evolving. We will continue to be transparent and will share relevant updates on Ripple and XRP related announcements through official channels including Ripple and Ripple XDev, and will maintain public access to our XRP holdings on ripple.com. Big stuff. Now, let's take a look at this. So Zoom says next targets for XRP $2.80 to $3, target to $4.50 and to $4.80. We get back to the drawing board after XRP breaks through these targets. Now let's kind of talk about what's really happening. So if you're looking at the dominance here, as we did start off on a brand new week, you can see this for yourself. Let's kind of zoom in here and really see what's happening with the dominance. You guys can see, dominance is picking up once again, pretty much, back to, where it left off, almost, going up to 65%. What am I saying? Now, obviously, some resistance coming in our way. If this is able to break out, pretty much back to that 65% mark. BTC, on the other hand, did see a little bit of a bounce, nothing crazy, a little bit of a bounce, but obviously, we're still remaining in the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. Remember, FOMC meeting, needs to be considered. Now, if you're looking at XRP's price here, obviously seeing a little bit of a minor pullback as to be expected. Like I said, the broader market is reacting to that FOMC meeting coming up this Wednesday. But let's take a look at it on the daily time frame. So you are seeing XRP, pulling down. Obviously, a lot of support coming in our way, but a potential retest down to 207 could be in play for the first time since April 20th. We haven't seen, a retest down to the 38.2 fib support line pretty much since April 21st. So that would be something, and I do personally believe that could be in play in the next few hours to come, because that itself is just a 2 to 3% move from where we currently are, but still nice accumulation regardless of us going down a little bit. Obviously, dominance is really high right now. Bitcoin kind of staying shaky. Obviously, market kind of getting itself ready for the FOMC meeting coming up. So, do expect a little bit of a choppy, price action over the next few days, obviously, as we go into Wednesday. I'll keep you guys covered, of course. Let me know down below what you guys think. Love each and every one of you guys. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.